Welcome back to AMC Bulls, everyone. Welcome to the Night Countdown. I'm going to go over two things with you guys here. I'm going to go over the market. The market has been very choppy. We have CPI inflation reports that came out on Friday, and then we have Jerome Powell this Wednesday. And I'm going to go over SGMA with you guys. We had a 100% breakout in the AMC Bulls room. I'm going to go over exactly how this one played out, what exact momentum we would be looking for to have a continuation, when exactly you could be indicating when these major breakouts lose momentum. And all I ask in return for all of this is you smash that like button and hit subscribe if you want to see more chart updates on potential breakouts that I mentioned throughout the week. So let's jump into this one. So I'm going to go over the forward chart with you guys here on the market so you guys can see what kind of momentum we have going into this week. Then I'm going to go over SGMA with you guys so you guys can see what kind of momentum we have when we have these major breakouts that we have been mentioning in the AMC Bulls for quite a while. So again, before I get started, I want to mention that we do alert penny stock and breakout alerts throughout the day. We did mention SGMA in the middle of the day on Friday on earnings at $9.30, jumping up to $18.65 going to extended hours, over 100% on that breakout. And we also do mention news before market open every single day. We mentioned ISIG in pre-market on a major breakout from Monday at $5.60, jumping up to $35 on the week, over 500% on that breakout. And we do mention a weekly watch list every single week. We mentioned DARE on our weekly watch list, looking for FDA approval. Again, no guarantees with these FDA approvals, but we did get FDA approval here on DARE, over 40% on that breakout. So if you do want to see all of our daily intraday perspective breakouts, go to instabulls.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. So jumping into the 4-hour chart with you guys here so you guys can see exactly what kind of momentum we have been getting recently. This is the end of October to now where we are on December 12th. As you guys can see, we did have a pullback as Jerome Powell was mentioning that we could have an increase in tapering. He did mention that we were going to have an increase in tapering, but however, not as much as we did expect. So we did have a nice bounce back. We did rally off of that, continued to respect the 20-day average here on the forward chart and continue to break continued highs. And as you guys can see, now we do have this pullback as Jerome Powell mentioning that we could have an increase in tapering at a quicker pace, and also the Omicron variant coming out at the same time, showing us the strong pullback that we had. And as you guys can see, we did have a nice bounce back this week. Again, CPI inflation reports coming out on Friday at 6.8%, expectations at about 7.2%. Now, as you guys can see, we are consolidating just under where we previously did have our gap down when Jerome Powell did mention that we are going to possibly have an increase in tapering at a quicker pace. So we are looking for Jerome Powell to be less hawkish this week. If he can just not mention so much about tapering, possibly mention a better outlook on tapering, possibly decreasing in inflation, then we could have a nice bounce back and continue to get more momentum. But if he goes super hawkish like we saw previously, then we could come back down, possibly get more consolidation, and looking to see if we have as much fear as we did previously. We are looking for the Jerome Powell that we've had throughout the whole pandemic. If he continues to act hawkish, say things like retiring transitory, meaning that he's retiring the fact that we could return from inflation at a quicker pace, then we could have a negative outlook here on the market. So we will keep that on the watch on Wednesday, looking for Jerome Powell to have a better outlook on the market and hopefully not saying as many hawkish things about the market. Now, jumping over to SGMA here, again, we had a 100% breakout in the AMC Bulls room on Friday. So I want to make sure we go over this one again on the 5-minute chart so you guys can see how this one played out and what exactly we could have been looking for to have this continuation. As you guys can see, again, we did have our initial spike on the earnings, looking to see if we can hold this psychological resistance here. And again, we had this spike at $9.30 that we mentioned in the AMC Bulls room, had this spike, looking to see if we can hold over $10. And as you guys can see, we bounced just off the 20-day average. Again, when we have the 20-day average here on the 5-minute, still over the 50, it does show us that we still could continue. And sure enough, we did continue. We did bounce off the 20. We continued on up. And as you guys can see, we did drop below the 20 at this point in time, but we still had the 20 pointing up here, showing us that we could continue holding this doji candle. Again, we did mention this on Friday, looking to see if we can hold this doji candle. And sure enough, we did. We bounced just off of it, bounced back over the 20 and continued on up. Now, we did have this continuation, but we are going to take consideration that we could be unwinding here, dropping below the 20, showing us that we could be losing momentum. And as you guys can see here, sure enough on the MACD, getting that decrease in buy pressure, showing us that we could decrease in momentum. And going into after hours, as you guys can see, we did have a pullback, looking to see if we can continue to respect the 20-day average, exactly testing the 20-day average, looking to see if we can continue on with buy pressure is exactly what we're looking for here. But as you guys can see, we do have that increase in sell pressure as we did have that decrease in buy pressure here on the MACD. So again, SGMA will stay on the watch, looking for that increase in buy pressure as we do have an increase in sell pressure at this point in time. So again, we could have a continuation on down, but I did want to mention this so you guys can see exactly when we do lose momentum is when we do have that decrease in buy pressure. We could have an increase in buy pressure, breaking above our midday momentum, and that could give us our momentum on up. But as you guys can see, we did have our decrease in buy pressure, not breaking strong above our previous buy pressure points that we had. So again, that decrease in momentum showing us that decrease in momentum here on these major breakouts is exactly what I also wanted to show you guys here. And again, with that said, if you happen to be interested in intraday perspective breakouts, go to instabulls.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout like that again. All of you instabulls that have been coming over and supporting the channel, I appreciate every one of you guys. Much love to everyone of you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you guys in pre-market. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the refine it, and it does help the channel grow. And I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.